What's up, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back. This is Jeff with DBS CCG Life, bringing you a deck profile on Fu. This leader is super fun. Activate main once per turn. Draw one card. Add up to one card from your life to your hand. Look it up to the top 5 cards from your deck. Place up to one black Fu or Cumber card in your Z deck face up, then shuffle your deck. Awaken. When your life is at 4 or less, draw 2 cards. So no alternate way of awakening, but he does self-awaken pretty well, being able to net you 2 cards per turn. So let's flip over to the backside. We have Super Fu Heinous Commander. Activate main once per turn. Draw one card. Look it up to the top 5 cards of your deck. Place up to one black Fu or Cumber card in your Z deck face up, then shuffle your deck. Activate Battle once per turn. If it's your opponent's turn, choose up to one black Cumber card in rest mode, then switch the target of attack to that card. So very good effect because all of our Cumbers have Servant, which means they will not untap during your charge phase. So let's move on to the main deck. We're playing 4 Fu making the next move. So permanent, this card cannot attack unless you have a Z extra card in your battle area. All of these Fus that I'm going to show you besides one of them cannot attack unless you have a Z extra card. Auto, when this card is played, look it up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to one black Fu or Cumber card to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Activate main, limit 1 for 1 black. If your leader is a black Fu card and you place one black Cumber card from your hand in your Z deck face up, play this card from your hand, then add up to one Fu from your Z deck face up to your hand. So really not a bad effect. Every single Fu has the second effect to play them from your hand for one except for one of them. So let's move on. That will make our reading a lot quicker. We're then playing 4 copies of Fu, a scheme set into motion. Of course, it has the same effect that can attack unless you have a Z extra card. It says auto, when this card is played, draw one card. And our last Fu for the main deck is going to be 4 copies of Super Fu Assault Dominator. So this card is super busted for this deck. It's really good. It has dual attack, limit 1, Overlord once per turn. So for those of you who are wondering, Overlord is an activate main skill that allows you to put a card with Servant from your field to the bottom of your deck and draw a card. Activate main for 2 black. If your leader is black and your opponent has 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand, then play up to one black Cumber card with an energy cost of 7 from your drop or Z deck face up. Activate Battle once per turn. Choose up to one of your black Cumber cards and it gains Servant until the end of your opponent's turn. So that's very good. Of course, Servant, I will explain more of that once we get into the Cumbers because every one of them aside from one have Servant. We are playing 4 Cumber Thriving Darkness. Now, it has Servant, so Servant means it gets plus 10,000 power and it cannot switch to active mode during your charge phase. So, very good for, getting an extra buff swing in there. And all these Cumbers, you can cheat out from under one of the Z battle cards, which I will show you that momentarily. So it says, when this card attacks, use up to one black card with 5k combo power from your drop in a combo with its skills negated for the turn. Activate main, limit 1. If your leader is a black Fu card, play this card from under a Fu Z battle card. So very good effect. All of the Cumbers aside from one have the exact same effect that it can be played from under a Fu Z battle card. Moving on to the next one, we have 4 Cumber Jet Black Hostility. All of these Cumbers with Servant have 10,000 power, but they're also able to gain 10,000, bringing their attack up to 20k. Auto, when this card is played, your opponent sends one card from their hand to their warp. So not a bad effect when it's played for free. Moving on, next we are playing 3 Cumber Overwhelming Fight. So once again, a 10k, Servant. Auto, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to their owner's warp. So I do want to, before I go any further, I want to explain this a little bit as far as how Servant and Overlord work. So let's just say we have these two guys on the field. Okay, so this Cumber has Servant, this one has Overlord. So basically what you can do is when you have both of these on the field, you can attack with your Cumber. Sorry, that glare, I'm trying to get away from it. Not making it easy. Anyway, you can attack with your Cumber. It gets plus 10,000 power. It has plus 10,000 still on your opponent's turn, just in case you were wondering. Now that you've attacked with that, you can now, if you want to, activate the Overlord skill, putting this on the bottom of the deck and drawing a card. So it's just kind of a way to get rid of those useless things that are tapped and won't untap from your field. And I mean, in a way it's not useless because of the fact you have targets for your food leader that can make them attack this instead. And it's going to have 20k power. So it's really good, really not bad at all. But with that being said, let's move on to the last Cumber in the deck. And this deck is not 100% complete yet. I am still working on getting cards for this deck, namely the Secret Rare. I am really working on getting that. So we're playing 4 SS Cumber Assailant's Fury. It says, Auto, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost less than or equal to the number of cards in your Z deck, ignoring barrier, and send it to its owner's warp. It's a really good card. This one does not have Servant, so you cannot expect it to be at 35k, unfortunately. But it's still a really, really good card for this deck. Auto, if you have 4 or more energy, and you place one card from under this card in your drop, when this card attacks, this card gains double strike for the battle. So pretty good, and I will explain how you get something under it in just a second. And that glare is driving me crazy. I am so sorry, y'all. Activate main, limit 1 for 1 black. If you had 3 more energy, choose 1 black Cumber card from your drop or warp. Play this card from your hand and place the chosen card under this card. So one of the bosses of the deck, aside from the 8-drop Fu. This card's really good, and you can pretty much play it for free with its own skill or with your Super Fu skill. And of course, not free, it costs 1 energy, but still, it's still really good. Next, we are playing 4 Mechakabura Dark Ruler. It has Overlord, once per turn. Auto, when this card is played, draw 1 card. Auto limit 1. When you activate Overlord, play up to 1 Demon Realm Soldier token. Demon Realm Soldier tokens have 5k power, 0 combo cost, and 5k combo power. So very good. Every time you activate Overlord, you can make a Demon Realm token. So really, really good. Not bad for a 1-drop. Next, we are playing 1 copy of Dark Broly Heartless Berserker. Overwhelm 6, so it's a good overwhelm target. It says, Auto, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to its owner's warp. Activate main for 2 generic. If your leader is black, play this card from your warp. So really good. You can play it from the warp when it's gone after the overwhelm ends. After the turn you overwhelm. So not bad at all. Moving on to the next one. I am playing an oldie right here, but I love this card, Kami Global Unifier. So this card, for those of you who are newer to the game and didn't play in set 5, this card is a board wipe. So it has deflect. Deflect, for anybody who's wondering, it says this card isn't affected by counterplay skills. And we'll get into the counterplay and everything in probably another video. I've got a video planned for that, so look forward to that. Auto, when you play this card, draw 1 card. Activate main for 2. Your opponent has 4 or more battle cards in play. Choose all of your and your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less, ignoring barrier, and KO them. So really not bad. It's good against Dr. Hedo, stuff like that can swarm the board pretty easily. Just a great card to have if you're in a pinch. Yes, it does KO your stuff as well, but that's a small price to pay to really kind of get back into the game. We are playing only the best super combo for black. It is Vegeta, the Prince Strikes Back. So bottom deck 1, draw 2. Next we are playing 3, eliminating a nuisance. Activate main, limit 1. If your leader is a black food card, look it up to the top 5 cards from your deck. Place up to 1 black Cumber in your Z deck face up, then shuffle your deck. So just like the Fu effect, however, it doesn't give you an option to put a Fu in your Z deck instead, which is fine because we want our Cumbers in our Z deck. That is very important for this deck, and you'll see why once we hit the Z deck. Activate battle for 1 black. Send this card from your drop to your warp. Choose up to 1 of your black Fu cards, and it gets plus 15k power for the battle. So this card's really, really good. You can get 2 uses out of it. Nothing wrong with that. Don't know why I'm only running 3. I will probably end up running 4 in here. It's just a matter of time until I change it. Like I said, this deck's not totally complete yet. However, I am working on getting it to that point. Next, we are running 3 Super Kamehamehas. Thought about bumping this down to 2. Not 100% yet, but it's really good. It's a really good card, don't get me wrong. But there are a couple other things that I want to throw in here that will make the deck better. Counterplay. If your leader card is black and your life is at 4 or less, if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 3 or less, it is sent to your owner's warp instead of being played. Permanent. If you have only black cards in your energy and your life is at 4 or less, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand by adding a card from your life to your hand instead of paying its energy cost. So not bad. Very good card. Move on to the next one. We are running 2 Support of the Dark Empire. So this is the token negate for black. Nothing more to be said there. Negate the attack. Play a token with blocker until the end of turn. So very good card. Alright, lastly for the main deck. And I'm going to change this card out, but we're running 4 Power Bursts as of right now. I'm going to change this card out for Protector of the People, and I just got some, so I'm in the process of changing it out. So anyway, moving on, we're going to the Z deck now. We are running 2 Fu's Laboratory. Now, this card is kind of stupid. I love it. Activate main, limit 1. Choose up to 1 of your black Fu battle cards with Z stack. Then place up to 1 Cumber from your Z deck under the chosen card. So you get to do that once per turn. Activate battle, limit 1. Discard 1 card from your hand and remove this card from the game. Play up to 1 black Cumber card with an energy cost of 6 from your Z deck face up in rest mode with its skills negated for the turn. So basically, activate battle, play a Cumber in rest mode, leader skill, activate battle, redirect the attack to that Cumber. So really good effect, really good card. We're running 2 because if 1 gets blown up and we don't run another one, we're kind of screwed because we need this card on the field for our 5-drop Fus to attack. So moving on to the rest of the Z deck, we are playing 3 Fu Fighting Enthusiast Treatment. It has Deflect, Z-Stack 1 Black Cumber battle card. That is the whole purpose of this deck, to be able to Z-Stack those Cumbers and play them for free. It says permanent. During your turn, once per turn, this card can't be removed from your battle area by your opponent's skills. So it does protect itself once per turn. Activate main, limit 1. If your leader is a black Fu card, look it up to 5 cards from the top of your deck. Place 1 black Fu or Cumber card in your Z deck face up, then shuffle your deck. This is a very good card. I really like it a lot. This card wins you games. Just believe me when I tell you it wins you games. Moving on. So second to last card in the Z deck, we are running Fu Assembling the Strong. We are just running one of these. It has Deflect, Barrier, Overlord, Limit 1. If your leader is an Evil Saiyan or Cumber card, both black, Z-Stack 1 Black Cumber battle card with an energy cost of 2. So we are not really using this for the Limit 1 effect. We are mainly using it for the Overlord effect. This is an additional option to when we don't have our other Fu, and Fu's Laboratory can Z-Stack Cumbers under this one as well. So moving on to the final card in the Z deck. We're playing one Cumber Captive Fighter. It says auto, when this card is played or attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less, and it gains Servant until the end of your opponent's next turn. So this card is really good. If one of your opponent's battle cards is tapped and you don't want to have to deal with it next turn, you can just give it Servant until the end of your opponent's next turn and it will not untap. So that is very, very good. So anyway, leave your thoughts and suggestions down in the comments below. As I said, this deck is not complete as of yet. I am working on it, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.